So today we are making pasta carbonara, and yeah, let's get to it. For the ingredients, guys, we are going to start with pasta, and yes, you're going to want to use spaghetti noodles for this. Pecorino Romano cheese, make sure it's shredded, grated, just get it down to something. Next, we're going to use 5 egg yolks. The pork fat is going to be guanciale. Last, and certainly not least, black pepper. Make sure it's whole too. We're going to break it down. You'll see later. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to break down this guanciale. Guanciale is a pork fat, like I said. In this recipe, you could use anywhere from pancetta, which is also another fatty pork, very salty, along with bacon as well. I really like the bacon taste. It's not a bad idea to throw it in. And if that's what you have on hand, this makes for a really killer recipe. Again, this comes from the pig, and actually this part, guanciale, comes from the neck of the pig. So it's super fatty, and it's going to add really nice flavor at the end of this. As you can see, my guanciale here is peppered. That's all they had at the time. It doesn't really matter. As long as you could know how to work with it, it's fine. But if you can, try to find stuff that is not seasoned. As you can see here, I'm getting it cut down to its final little pieces. And make sure everything's about the same size, because you don't want to throw it in the pan and have it cook at different temperatures or heats. One's chewy, one's super crispy. Make sure they're the same size. It'll make life easier. After it's all cut up, you're going to throw it into a pan on medium-low heat. Yes, you want it medium-low so all the fat melts off. After that's done, you're going to separate your egg yolks into a big bowl. You're going to go ahead and add pecorino romano cheese, about a cup. You'll see I added also some Parmesan cheese as well. If you don't have Parmesan cheese, add about a cup and a half of the pecorino romano. We're using 5 egg yolks because each egg yolk feeds about one person, so use it as a rough measurement for how many people you are cooking for. We're going to want to go ahead and fold this together. Yes, you're not going to want to whisk it or anything. You want to fold it so it becomes very clumpy and everything is mixed together. As you can see, the fat is really melting off this guanciale. It's getting really crispy, and that's exactly what we want. Make sure to keep an eye on it while it's cooking this entire time. Here you're going to want to crack your pepper into a bowl, anything, a plate, just something to hold it on. So we're going to take this up just an extra notch. You're going to want to sift the pepper over top of the egg and cheese mixture. What this is going to do is going to take all the little small particles of pepper and get it into the mix, and that's what's going to add a lot of flavor. And you're going to want to save those big pieces of pepper, put that to the side, and save that for later. You're going to save those pieces, so once you plate your pasta, if you need more pepper, you could also add those big chunks at the very end. It adds a lot of flavor in that crunch. So good. Get a pot, fill it with water, and bring it to a boil for the pasta so it's there when you need it, and make sure you salt it. Here, after all the fat melted off, I turned the heat up so I could get the guanciale really crispy. That's just how I like it. So water's boiling, and we're going to go ahead and add our pasta. You're going to want it al dente. Spaghetti, I cooked this for 8 minutes in the pot, and we use 1.5 pounds We're serving about 5 people here. Are you kidding me? This looks amazing. That's where I want it at. Perfect. So the pasta water is going to be key in this. Once the pasta is done cooking, you're going to immediately take it out of the water and put it right in the pan with the guanciale in it and all that fat in there. Yes, you're going to leave that fat in. Fat is flavor. After all the pasta's in, you're going to want to go ahead and mix. Yes, make sure you mix it all the way through so all the fat and the guanciale is mixed evenly throughout. Once everything is mixed in, here comes the fun part. You're going to want to add all the egg, yolk, and cheese mixture. So what I did is I actually took a little bit of pasta water and I threw it in with the egg and cheese mixture just to melt it down and cook it up a little bit. Once you get it down to this consistency, go ahead and toss it in. And make sure you let the pasta rest for 30 seconds before tossing this in. Finally, once it's all in, you'll want to go ahead and mix thoroughly. Add pasta water whenever you need to, whenever you want, just to thicken up the sauce. And here is our final product.